What's up, everybody? This is Jeff. Today we're going to talk about California, things to know about visiting and living in California. First thing to talk about in California is the cultural diversity that exists there. California is a very multicultural state. There's no one race that is predominantly the majority, essentially. It's got a heavy influence of Mexican culture from the southern border of Mexico, due to the fact that Mexico actually once owned, or California was a part of Mexico. It was called Alta California. Um, in the 1840s, there was gold discovered in Sutter's Mill. The United States government in Washington D.C. wanted that gold, and they ended up going to war with Mexico for the land of Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and California. If you want to know more about this, you can study the Mexican-American War. Long story short is a lot of Mexicans believe that it's their birthright to also live in California, because you might hear the saying, California, they're not illegal because the border crossed them. They didn't cross the border. So there is an angst that exists between American citizens and Mexican undocumented Mexicans, and even documented Mexicans in the state. So there's at least 30 million people that live in California that are documented. As far as the total population of California, it's no one knows how many undocumented residents are there. Just guesstimations. With that being said, that is why you might pick up on an anxiety or an angst that exists between Hispanics and Americans. Now, with that being said, also, it's not really a big deal. To those who are in fanatical groups like white supremacist groups or La Raza, or fanatical race groups, it's a big deal because this is what their rally cry is. But to the average Californian, they embrace multiculturalism from Asia, from India, from Africa, from Mexico, from Guatemala, South America, Europe. It pretty much, it's California. So, like I said, I mean, it's a very diverse place. Moving on now. With the heavy influence of Mexican culture also comes, which is going to be called the official state food of California, and that's going to be the California burrito, or a fish taco. So I hope you enjoy Mexican food, in particular burritos and tacos, because that's what you're going to be eating a lot of, and it's really good, so you're not going to complain. The next subject is going to be weather. Southern California is mostly sunny. It does get really hot in the months of July, August, and September, and what I mean by really hot is 100 degrees. The other 9 months are mild and fair weather, similar to the Mediterranean. Mostly sunny. It does freeze in December, and that's about it. There is going to be some frost on the ground in certain parts of Southern California, from Los Angeles down to San Diego. There's also skiing and high mountain terrains in just outside of Los Angeles in Big Bear. So if you like to ski, see, in Los Angeles, it's very unique because it's said that you can surf and you can ski all in the same day. So if there's snow on top of Big Bear and there's big waves outside of Malibu or Huntington Beach, you can do both in the same day. So that's pretty cool. That's in the wintertime. Now, the Northern California and Central California has the Sierra Nevadas, which is where Yosemite, Sequoia National Park, Kings Canyon is, and that's just a winter wonderland and a summer wonderland that people come from far and wide to experience Yosemite Valley and the giant sequoia trees. It's very beautiful in the Sierra Nevadas. That's inland towards Nevada, but it's in the state of California. Behind that is going to be the Mojave Desert, which is where Death Valley is. Death Valley is considered the hottest place on Earth, and that's not far away from Sin City of Las Vegas. So you're fairly close to Las Vegas if you should ever want to do a weekend getaway. From Los Angeles to Las Vegas is, I think, 3 to 4 hours. Don't quote me on that, though. Depending on traffic, sometimes that road does get heavy traffic. The Northern California, San Francisco in particular, can be very cold even in July and August on the peninsula because of the fog. I don't know what the phenomena is, but it'll be 40 minutes away, it'll be scorching hot, but there in downtown San Francisco, you'll need a jacket. 40 minutes outside of there, you will be hot and you need to remove that jacket and your shirt. San Jose can be hot when San Francisco peninsula is freezing. Okay, the northernmost part is very lush. That is where Humboldt County is. Some of the best cannabis in the world, world-renowned cannabis, comes from Humboldt County, up there by Oregon. Okay, so with all that being said, jobs in California are more scarce than you would think. High-paying jobs in particular. There are people who do get high-paying jobs, and the rest of the people seem to be stuck with minimum wage jobs and restaurant jobs. Even though Silicon Valley, Hollywood is there, and there are high-paying jobs, you have to remember, majority of the population not working in real estate or finance or the entertainment industry or tech is going to be the ones cleaning up after everybody at dining, and there's a big demand for that. But it's not going to be a high-paying job, and cost of living in California is expensive. Another thing to point out about California is it's heavily fortified by the U.S. military. U.S. military has what some would call San Diego being a giant military installation between Spa Wars, Miramar Air Force Base, Coronado, which is where the Navy SEALs train, and many of the large big boy aircraft carriers and destroyers are stationed alongside Point Loma, which is where the submarine base is. And then you have Camp Pendleton, which is a giant training center. So some would say that San Diego is just a giant military installation all the way up. And then they have major importing ports in Los Angeles, and the Central Valley has Air Force bases all throughout. So with that all being said, California is heavily populated, one of the most densely populated places in the United States. Traffic is going to drive you nuts if you live in a population center like Los Angeles. It's still far behind on public transport. Public transportation there could be a lot more efficient, and it's minimal. Bay Area Rapid Transit, also known as BART in San Francisco, is one of the more efficient ones in the country. San Diego has an all right light rail and bus system. Los Angeles is just, man, LA is not going to be the easiest place to get around. I don't know why Los Angeles seems to be going backwards in terms of lifestyle quality. People still love living in the posh areas like Malibu, Beverly Hills, but Los Angeles has lost its appeal over the years. I know you wanted to hear that it's getting better and it's the best place on earth, but truth be told, Los Angeles is a nice place, but it used to be a lot better. And that's an opinion. Now it's just turning into high crime. It's always had high crime, but it's still got high crime. Fairly nice people though. The people are pretty nice. It's just the infrastructure in Los Angeles is a little bit dilapidated, and they're working on repairing all that. So that's just a really quick rundown of things to know. Like I said, cost of living in California is expensive, even if you're living in some of the less favorable locations like the San Joaquin Valley. It's still expensive. That's just a quick rundown of California. I hope you guys asked me some questions. I know that this was not the most positive outlook on California, but I will say it's a nice place to live. It's just, it is a stressful environment at times, mostly because of densely populated areas. And it has suffered from pollution. So enjoy your trip, enjoy your new life in California, and happy trails.